Good
Good morning.
It's the 25th of October 2025. 144 years before, a very famous personality was born in Malaga. Not Malaga, but Malaga in Spain. Can you guess who it is? It's a Spanish person, but he is an artist. Any guesses?
Pablo Picasso.
You're right, it's Pablo Picasso. But it's not Pablo Picasso. Simply, it is one of the longest names in the history of humanity. He had 23 parts to his name. I remember to read all of it, but it's 23 parts, right? And you think that he's born to be an artist. Because the first word he uttered was pith, which means pencil in Spanish. And he had one of the longest careers of anybody in humanity, 78 years as an artist. 78 years. He lived for about 91 years. Now, why this history lesson? Well, we can take two things from what his life was all about. You're not necessarily born to do certain things. It's more about training. It's more about consistency. So, the idea that you're born to do this something is probably not true. Everybody can be a speaker. Everybody can be a leader. It only takes a consistent effort to constantly hone those skills. And that is what Toastmasters is all about. Toastmasters, the mission of Toastmasters itself is to create a positive and learning environment for people to hone their leadership skills and communication skills. That's the goal of it. But with these goals, there are some rules so that it guides you better. What are those rules? Well, that's what I'm here to tell you about because I am the Sergeant at Arms today. We at Toastmasters refrain from talking about religion, politics, and sex in our speeches. And for the speakers to have a more conducive environment, we refrain from interrupting their speeches too much, but as an advanced Toastmasters club, we can have those witty jabs and jibes so as to not interrupt the speaker's flow, but still goes on. Let us also remind ourselves and take our phones out and put it in silent mode so that it doesn't interrupt the flow of the meeting. And with that, with the rules out of the way, I would like to introduce the presiding officer for today, DTM Sundaraman Chintamani, who embodies the consistency, consistently doing the small things to become better, as Pablo Picasso, as Pablo Picasso did in his career. Welcome.
Thank you, Sergeant Lord, Sir Toastmaster Bharat. Good morning, Meraki. Let me open meeting number 232 of Meraki Open. Right now we don't have guests. I guess some guests will join a little later.
She's not a guest.
Yeah. In 1990, at Stanford University, there was a PhD student called Newton. So this Newton wanted to do a thesis and she conducted an experiment. And she invited around 120 people, students, and gave them an experiment. So she divided the group into two. One called tappers and one group called listeners. Okay. She gave a sheet of paper comprising of very popular songs, around 20 songs. Any question about what are the popular songs? In common mass.
Any of the
Happy Birthday, Jingle Bells, something like that. Very, very popular. The entire universe can understand. So these songs were given to one group of people called the tappers. And what they have to do is, in front of the listeners, what they have to do is, just they have to sing the song in mind, but they have to tap the bench with that respective tune. For example, ta 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 ta. So I am actually singing the tune, but here they have to represent only the song. So before conducting the research, the entire group of listeners were asked, what is the probability of identifying the songs? So what is the probability of identifying the song just because of the tune? Any guess? The response from the audience, the response from the listeners, any guess on the percentage?
100%.
20%, 20, 25.
Okay. So the audience responded that they said that 50%. So in 50%, at least 1 and 2 attempts, they will be able to figure out. And then the experiment was conducted. And surprisingly, out of 120, only 4 people were able to find out the songs. Only 4 people. So that was almost like less than 3% or something like that. So the primary objective of this experiment was to figure out whether people can convey what they have in mind, not explicitly telling all those things in our mind, just partially sharing. And more than the researcher, actually the tappers were surprised, right? So they thought, no, this is a simple song. How come the listeners are not able to figure out? Because the song was already going in their mind. But these audience, they were literally annoyed. What is it? Without the tune, they could not figure out anything. So basically, this is an analogy for communication. So many times now we try to say something to our other stakeholders, assuming that they will understand and respond back, right? But we are not complete with our communication, and we have something in mind, especially the bosses. For example, CEO of a company will say, let's all add value to shareholders. So the bottom level people may not be able to understand what is shareholders or the value. So these are all abstract terms. So they have to explicitly drill down and then give more meaningful messages. So is this story related to communication or leadership? Is it something communication as well as leadership? As a leader, you are supposed to convey what you want to convey, and the listeners also take extra effort to understand. So in today's world, the communication skill and leadership skill are very, very important. But even 100 years back, one gentleman thought that these are 2 vital aspects. And keeping these twin objectives in mind, he started this movement called Toastmasters almost 101 years back. Dr. Rolf C. Smedley, where in America, where people used to speak in English. We all think, no, our mother tongue is not English, and that is the reason we are unable to communicate. But even in the Western world, people who generally speak in English, they were struggling to give a 2-minute speech of during raising the toast ceremony. So at that point of time, Dr. Rolf C. Smedley started this in a garage, and he took almost 10 years to formulate that and come out with a framework. And today it has been successfully implemented in more than 150 countries. More than 150 countries, and several million people are Toastmaster members. The reason why this forum is so successful, it provides a conducive ambience where people can learn from each other, and there is no big hierarchy. Though of course there are office bearers there, but during a meeting, so all are learning from one person to the other person, and that is the reason it provides a very, very conducive atmosphere, and it gives positive energy to come back again and again. And that is the reason we are all here, and we are all part of Meraki Club, which is coming under Area 4, and the area is part of Division E, and Division is part of District 120, and District 120 is again part of Region 13. Region 13. And this Region 13 is governed by Board of Directors, and then we have a set of office bearers like CEO. And every year the office bearers get changed. So for example, our club, since we are meeting once in fortnight, we change our officers year-on-year basis, whereas other clubs, they rotate the officers once in 6 months. So this, I think all of you should be doing all this, but as a president, I want to reiterate this message for the benefit of guests or even for the members to know the objective of Toastmasters. So every Toastmasters meeting, it is run by a person called Toastmaster of the Day. And today we have a young and energetic member who has been already a Toastmaster in another club. Not only a member, he was also holding a position as the secretary. So he was part of Chennai Communicator Clubs as a secretary. And currently he is working as an embedded engineer, and he is very, very eager to know new things, and that is the reason he has joined an Advanced Toastmaster Club. Please put your hands to welcome Toastmaster of the Day, Toastmaster Vinavan. It's a rainy day.
Yeah, good morning, fellow Toastmasters, distinguished Toastmasters and guests. Today the theme is melting into songs. So when it says songs, so many songs coming in our mind. It's all begin with Araro, Ariraro, Aradicha, Solili. At those moments, we don't even know. So what is that means? What they trying to say? But all we know, all we understand is someone is there to backing us up. So I'm not alone. So no need to fear. So that is the thing our mother likes to highlight when we are crying out of fear when we are kids. As days moving out, and it goes like this. Veilode vilayadi, veilode uravadi. So like that. And considering my generation, so it's not like I want to listen a song, just open it and play what I like to hear. So those days I need to wait for a week to get into songs that I can listen, that not even the songs that I could wish to. So how many of you, so most of you will be aware of Ulim. So bring back the memories of black and white, so monochromatic TV and the show. And looking forward, the next part of the meeting. So we have a special person who is being a general evaluator. So being a general evaluator is like taking the whole picture and give a bird's eye view and give the feedback about how we are and what we are as individual role players. To take up this role, we have a special person. He is a storyteller and he's still learning so many things, and he is president of our Meraki club. Let's welcome William Sundaram.
Before I explain my role as the general evaluator, let me acknowledge the presence of our area director, Toastmaster Bhagat Gopinath. Acknowledge the presence of charter member, distinguished Toastmaster Satish Kumar. So today, apart from being the presiding officer, I am also playing the role of general evaluator. As general evaluator, it is my duty to observe the meeting from the beginning till the end. To do this the specific activity, I am supported with the 3 role players who are called the quantitative feedback givers, and then we have something known as qualitative feedback givers. The qualitative feedback givers are the speech evaluators. I'll introduce them after they prepared the last segment of the meeting. So right now, let me introduce the quantitative feedback givers known as the tag team, timer, accountant, remedy. To perform today's role as the timer, we have a wonderful person, our past president. He has been in the insurance industry as a trainer and is actively participating. His time management is astonishing. So whenever we arrive here in the Uttar world, he will be the first person. Whether you come at 6:40 or 6:30, before we come here, he will be here and he will perform. He will try to arrange all this and that. Please put your hands to welcome Toastmaster Gopinath. Please explain your role as a timer.
Thank you, General. Very good morning to everybody.
Good morning.
Thank Thank you very much. That's the energy. So today I'm Gopinath. As today is my general evaluator, and today I'm playing the role of a timer. So as a timer, I'll be just observing how much time each one of you come and give your performance, give your speech here. In Toastmasters, probably all of you will be knowing that we time everything. We don't keep on speaking as we like, because that is what is the standards which is set for us and for all others who listen to us. So we have 3 segments. Generally, we have 3 segments, like 3-4 segments. In Meraki, we have 4. Like there's a management book review, for which the timing is 5 to 7 minutes. As usual, my card I'll be showing there and be sitting down there right in front of you. 5 minutes will be green, and 6 minutes will be yellow, and 7 minutes it will be red. For prepared speeches, again it's 5 to 7 minutes. It's 5 green, 6 yellow, and 7 red. For table topics, it is 1 to 2 minutes. 1 it is green, 2 it will be yellow, and 3 it will be red. Similarly, for evaluations, there is 2 to 3 minutes. It's 2 to 3 minutes. Please mind it is 2 will be green, 3 will be yellow, 2.5 will be yellow, and 3 will be red. For all the speeches, starting from the management book review, prepared speeches, table topics, and evaluation, there is a grace period of 30 seconds given. Please ensure that you conclude your speech within that time. Also ensure that you utilize all that time effectively, so that we make our meeting much more better than what it is right now. I will be submitting my report, and the general evaluator calls me again before the end of the meeting. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Kedla. So to perform the role of accounter, we have again yet another person who has joined Meraki just 3 months back, but he actively participates, and whenever he is doing a role, he does justice to the specific role. He has been working for an industry which is the current needs of the entire globe. So that is the electric vehicle industry. So he is currently working towards the electric vehicle industry, and he is a fitness enthusiast. Not only that, he is also showing a lot of interest towards cooking. And please put your hands to welcome accountant Toastmaster Suresh.
Good morning, fellow Toastmasters. I am Suresh Kumar. Today I am leading the accountant role. And as an accountant, my roles and responsibility is to count the filler words used by each and every one, such as like so, and you know, and so, like, and also I try to find some repeated words. And by end of this meeting, I'm trying to provide these reports. And this goal of this exercise is to help and improve, making them aware of these habits by individual programs. Thank you.
Thank you. So the last quantitative feedback giver is the grammarian. To perform the grammarian role, we have wonderful person. He is none other than our immediate past president, Toastmaster Chalakanan. So he has been in an IT industry as a project manager, and he has been a Toastmaster for the last 10 years. Please put your hands to welcome Toastmaster Chalakanan.
Thank you, distinguished Toastmaster. Good morning, fellow Toastmasters and distinguished guests. Today I am going to play the role of a grammarian. As a grammarian, my role is to help all of us to improve our communication skills by paying attention to our use of language, how effectively and elegantly we express our thoughts. I have 3 main responsibilities today. Today the word of the day is melodious, 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 which means having a pleasant tune or musical sound. For an example, her melodious laughter filled the room with joy. I encourage all speakers to use the word of the day effectively and repeatedly. And also I will be doing the language listening. Throughout the meeting, I will be listening carefully to note beautiful phrases and creative language, strong vocabulary and effective sentence structures, any grammatical slips or filler words that can be improved better. And at the end of the session, I will be reporting when I am called. Towards the end of the day, I will present my report. Thank you and over.
Thank you, Toastmaster Chalakanan. So besides these role players, I will also be observing, as I said earlier, I will be observing the entire proceedings and figure out what went really well and what could have been done better. Just I would like to again highlight that every Meraki meeting, at the end of the meeting, we have a listening quiz, and the people who give the right answer, they get a goodie, they basically get a toffee. So please be observant and just make note of the entire proceedings, whether it is prepared speech sessions, table topic or evaluation session. So with that, let me hand over podium back to the Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Vinavan.
So coming back to the song part, forgot to highlight that his favorite song is Avaloru Navarasanai. So it's a wonderful song by SPB. And back to the songs part. So as I growing and as we are growing, so it goes to schooling and college, and the tech also keep on updating, right? So there is a dedicated channel that only keep on telecasting songs. So these are all coming up as in the journey and as in the parallel path. If I want to listen specific song that I like to listen, I need to get a tape recorded version. I need to play it on a tape recorder. So that takes a day to deliver at the minimum to get into it. So that's how I raised, and most of you would adapt to the similar situation. And there is a 60 and 90 cassettes, like it takes more of songs, the 90 version, and then coming to the CD version. It's going like that. And during in schools or colleges, there'll be one fellow. Everybody would have relate to that easily. So he'll keep on singing the first line of the song. Aritum hero, Aritum. Are sing the next line. Aritum hero. Are just stop it or continue the song. Aritum hey. So like that it goes. Our chit chat in schools and colleges. And coming back to the meeting part, so as a advanced Toastmaster club, we frequently have a management book review. To conduct the session today, we have a special person who is so energetic and charming and being an active Toastmaster. Let's welcome Toastmaster Aravind.
Good morning, fellow Toastmasters and guests.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Today I am going to review a book called What I Learned About Investing from Darwin. So as the name suggests, this book is drawing parallels from Charles Darwin, who has written Evolution of Biology, and this author is called Pulak Prasad. So he is one of the founding members of Nalanda Capital, one of the leading portfolio management services based out of Singapore, primarily investing in India and US. So I'll just take a minute to explain about the author. This fund has been consistently beating benchmark since they have founded it in 2007. It's been like about 20 years now. Okay. So now when it comes to the book speaks about three important things. Before I get into the themes, maybe one more introduction is every chapter, and again three themes, and first, second theme will have 4 chapters, third theme will have 3 chapters, overall only 8 chapters. But every theme will have one particular example from either Darwin or something related to the biology evolution. So it could be anything from Siberian foxes to dung bees to bumblebees. There are so many examples. So it is like mixed with science and how we can correlate to the investment. That's how the book was written. So when it comes to the first theme, it is like I will try to give one example in each theme so that you get some idea about how the book is, so that you can actually take home this message and try to read this. So the first theme is about avoiding big risk. This gives an example of, say for example, if there is an angry deer in a forest, so it has to go and drink. There is a water in a pond which it doesn't see. So now it has 2 options. Either it has to go and thirst its hunger, fulfill its hunger, or it also at the same time it also has to look for if there are any trades so that it should not become it should not get killed that day. Likewise, draw a parallel in investment. When you choose to do an investment, there could be type 1 error or type 2 error. Type 1 error is you might end up in doing a bad investment. Type 2 error is something like it could have been a good opportunity, but you could have missed because you have certain investment principles. That's how he is giving this example. For example, this is again goes by the Warren Buffett's principle of, you might have read this multiple. He says about 2 rules: never lose your money. Remember the rule number 1. So every theme will also, he also gives an example of how it is related to Warren Buffett's principles. So this is about avoiding big risk in the first theme. Second theme is about buying high quality businesses at a fair value, fair price. For example, you might have seen in every day, okay, like if you look at paper or any news channel, ET or CNBC, so there could be noise coming everywhere. So there could be certain themes running. For example, last 2 years there have been themes like defense or railways because government is spending. But if you look at it, these themes would run only for 2-3 years. Every 3 years there could be some different themes. But this author keeps saying you should always look at high quality businesses is the first parameter before you buy something. So this is again Warren Buffett says, right? So if you could feel a product, if you could see them visibly, then you should invest it rather than going by some unknown names. So in this example, he had given some example of how the Siberian foxes experiment which happened for some 40 years in Russia. So they tried to tame a fox. So as you might have all known, dogs actually have come from foxes, right? So but they don't want to entirely convert a fox into a dog, but they want to know which characteristics can be changed so that it can be better handled. So likewise he says, if you are looking at investing in a company, you should always look at return on capital employed as a parameter. There could be multiple noise factors like you might have seen profit growth, revenue growth. Some people will go only by sales growth. But you always look at return, how much of money the company has really made, so that you can go and invest in it. Similarly, he had also given, like you might have seen, people always do lot of forecast. So they forecast for next 5 years, 10 years, when we don't even know what could happen even in the immediate next year. So he has given this example, like say for example, you should always look at how it has evolved over the last 10 years. So you don't know what is going to be there in the next 5 years or even next year, but don't worry about it. But you know the data, what the company has really done over the last 10 years, which is available, and it is in history you cannot change. So you should look at it before investing. That is the theme on buying high quality businesses at a fair price. The last theme is the very interesting one. He says, don't be lazy, be very lazy. So he says, if you choose the right company, just hold them forever. As you might have seen, every billionaire investor like Warren Buffett or take any name, they hold on certain investments for a very, very long time. So this is again going back to the principle of compounding, right? 1 plus R power n. You don't have control on the rate of interest you might get, but you can always have the control over n, which is the number of years which you can hold. So this is again, he has given multiple examples here. Say for example, rabbits as such was never there in Australia. So then a gentleman brought 2 rabbits so that he wanted to have rabbits for hunting basically. But in 5 years, nothing had happened, maybe multiplied to few thousands. Then in the next 10 years, it multiplied into few lakhs. But end of 30 years, it has become billions. This has happened like early 1900s, and then government of Australia had a big trouble in controlling the population of rabbit. So this is an example again why you should let good investments to grow. So overall, I found this book really interesting. At least I had a few important takeaways. Like say for example, how do you choose some good companies? I really found some principles which are very profound, and I really found it meaningful. Similarly, holding it, I think you might have seen it. That is like when people are investing, I think you should always keep it for long term. So this is again reiterated by this book. I really found it useful. maybe I think you can also give a try and then understand how this book is. Thank you.
Thank you. So it's a wonderful insight given by Aravind, Toastmaster Aravind. So coming back to the songs part. So it was a fine day in my school. I don't have bunch of very close friends. So there are only few. One of the fellow so giving me and my close friend having a very hard fight, and so he finally says, "Mujhli munita poda." So I thought so I'm gonna talk with him. That's the last day. So I came back to my home and I put the bag away and went to the rooftop. So it's not enough. I went to the water tank top and quietly sitting, and I'm hearing the buzzing sound in the tank. And I'm hearing the song. உள்ளத்தில் நல்ல உள்ளம் உறங்காதென்பது. So the best moment, the songs we enjoy for me, more of it's not played by me, it was played by someone else. So in the buzzing sound, it's not even continuous, so it's coming along with the wind, and there is ice filled with water, and it's also filling the water tank because I thought. Coming back to our meeting part, followed by we have a prepared speech session. Our first speaker is Toastmaster Meraki. He is a coach, and he is taken a switch from IT sector to the coach part, and he is doing so great, and a charming person in our Meraki club. His favorite song is Ilamai Ido Ido. It's an all-time ultimate song, and I am a Kamal fan. Let's before that, let's do his project objective by his evaluator.
Yes, okay.
Who's the
PM.
Priya is dropped.
Can you do?
projects?
If he has objective, then I can do that.
Yes.
Oh, thank you.
Okay.
கொடுத்துருக்காங்க let him read. கொடுத்துருங்க மொபைலில் கொடுத்துருங்க பண்ணுறது yeah.
Toastmaster Bharat.
Good morning, everyone. The speaker, Toastmaster Narasimha is going to attempt the effective body language. This pathway is level 1, right? Sir?
Yeah.
Pathway is level 1, right?
Level 2.
Level two.
Project 2.
Okay. Level 2, project 2, effective body language. The purpose of this project is for the member to deliver a speech with awareness of intentional and unintentional body language, as well as to learn, practice and refine how they use non-verbal communication when delivering a speech. Time limit is 5 to 7 minutes. Good luck, speaker. Back to you. Yeah, back to you.
Let's welcome Toastmaster Meraki.
Thank you. Vinnavan. Have you ever been in a situation where your body was not in sync with what you speak? Yes? A lot of them. I was in that situation when I was about to present a presentation in a BNI forum as a president of the incoming tenor. By the way, BNI is a business forum which I am part of.
Slides are ready, script rehearsed. I am fully confident, right? Battery is full, and I prepared meticulously everything except my body. I entered the room. I was walking towards the room. Later, I realized that from fellow BNI friends that why are you conducting a march past rehearsal here? And my spine looked confident, but my body was looking for help. That's when I realized that my body has not gone through the script. My turn came, and I stood up and carrying the laptop in one hand, and the other hand I was hiding my hand again because it was shaking. I was holding the laptop tight not to drop it down. And I stood there watching fellow members, and I started. Healthy morning, BNI members. And slowly I dropped down one of my hand. Other hand was waving of its own. That's when I realized that I was conducting some melodious symphony. Later, I realized many were smiling. Not because my slides were amazing, but my nervous energy was contagious. Immediately what I did is I took a deep breath, hold on to a table, and stood tall. That's when I realized week on week in Toastmaster we practice something, right? Pause, breathe, connect. That's the thing came to my mind. I stood tall and take a breath. While I was speaking, I was noting down, I was pointing to individual person one by one, and somehow my body got in sync with the word I present. Got a very good applause, and that's when I realized one important point. The body can speak before you start uttering a word. For example, if I'm confident, in a confident posture, that means that I'm ready. If I'm smiling genuinely, it means that you can trust me, right? And if I'm having a very calm posture, it means that I'm believing in what I'm saying. Again, I didn't learn all this overnight. I learned from Toastmasters. This meeting happened a few months back. Week on week, participating in various contests and coming and attending Meraki Toastmaster meeting. Specifically, I learned a lot from TTM Satish, TTM Karthik, TTM Sundaram, our president, from all our members, specifically from all brilliant evaluators that who evaluated my speeches, giving me enough feedback. And that's how I learned all this thing. BNI gave me a stage, but Toastmaster helped me to learn how to use the stage. And that DNA presentation made my nerves tensed. But Toastmaster taught me how to use those moments as a friend and tackle those moments. Whenever my name is called next time, right? Slides can be ready. But because my body has already started speaking. Thank you. Thank you so much for,
So followed by an amazing speech, gave a very good insight to deliver on the stage. Thank you. And followed by we have a next speaker, Toastmaster Anirudh, and he's a charming person and one of the elite evaluators in our Meraki club. To evaluate his speech, I'd like to give a brief about his speech. DPM Satish.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster of the Day, and Anirudh delivering a speech in level 4, which is about question answer session speech. So the purpose of a speech is for the member to practice delivering an informative speech and running a well organized question and answer session. The member is responsible for managing time, so there is an adequate opportunity for both. For the simplicity timer, please note the timing for the speeches are 5 to 7 minutes, followed by 8 minutes of Q&A session plus 5 minutes. So the overall time can be 15 to 20. You can finish with speeches 5 to 7. Then you can start your 13 minutes of Q&A session. Maximum of 20 minutes. All the very best, speaker. Over to you.
Yeah, let's welcome Toastmaster Anirudh. Toastmaster Anirudh, how to make sense of AI today? How to make sense of AI today? Toastmaster Anirudh.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the Day. The topic is how to make sense of AI today. Before I get started, how many of you have used ChatGPT more than a couple of times? Can I have a show of hands? Excellent. Almost the entire room has used ChatGPT more than once. Have you ever tried any tools other than ChatGPT? It could be any AI native tools. Excellent. You have gone beyond ChatGPT and all. I have a third question, but my evaluator is checking his objectives. Anirudh, you are supposed to answer questions. Why are you asking so many questions? So last questions. How many of you think AI tools are coming for your industry? It's going to disrupt your industry completely. Excellent. So I'm a software developer. I belong to the IT industry. I take care of technology side of things. I write code full time. And these are my observations of how in October 2025 where AI is today. So let us get into it. Every year, me and my boss have a annual discussion where we go on a one-on-one for about 3 hours or so. It is less about my performance review, that happens other time. He just wants to know what we can do as an organization. So in 2023, he came and told Anirudh, I think we should start looking into AI tools. I was like, no, this is not even valuable. These are all just gimmicks. Okay, yes, I understand the value. I have used ChatGPT, but I don't see the potential in it. No, we should use. You should please consider and all those things. So he came and told. No, I told my boss, this is what you came the previous year before. You told no, we should look at blockchain. I belong to the fintech sector, so it felt like a solution in search of a problem, which to me is not very valuable. Last month, I went and spoke to my boss saying that things have now changed. Now, I can actually see the changes. I can envision how things are going to change. And I backed it up with objective information that I felt that have changed in just the last few months or so. All of us have been familiar with ChatGPT, right? So how to make sense of this? Now, one of my friends whom I spoke to, I was asking him how he uses all these tools and all. He told, yeah, I use this, I use that, etc. I asked him a very important question. When was the last time you used these tools? He told, I tried them in December, January. Now things have changed. How does one keep catching up with latest trends? Every time we open the newspaper, every week or something, some article keeps coming out, but we are not able to tell the difference, right? So today I'm going to present a simple framework to understand what goes on in these AI tools. There are 3 things that you need to know. The abbreviation that you can remember is BMI, not body mass index. The first B stands for branding. So I'm not going to talk about how AI tools are built, the behind the scenes, how these things work. I'm going to talk about, I can't talk about it because I myself do not know much. I'm going to talk about it based on how we can use these AI tools. So for using these AI tools, from the point of view as a user, I feel branding is most important. Now what is branding? Just simply the name. All of you have heard of ChatGPT. How many of you have heard of Claude? Okay, few hands. Perplexity? Excellent. So more hands for Perplexity, which means Perplexity has had an influence. The brand has reached you and you might have given it. When I renew my Airtel, this thing they are saying here have 1 year of free pro subscription and all those things. Now, this is the way we understand these products. You might think there is not much of difference between ChatGPT, Claude and Perplexity. This is the branding, right? Do you know the companies behind it? What their culture is? Say for example, ChatGPT is by the company OpenAI, Claude is by the company Anthropic, and Perplexity is by Perplexity, the company itself. I feel the culture fundamentally are very different. I'll come to them. Now, what you use as ChatGPT and other things are just a simple chat interface on a web browser. Perplexity launched a browser itself called Comet, which many of you might have heard. ChatGPT last week launched a browser called Atlas. So these words, Atlas, Comet, there are a lot of these jargons that are emerging, right? So one needs to be familiar with what is going on in the industry. The difficulty with this is, in news cycles, you might have heard some announcement just last week. There was another announcement 3 weeks ago. They are completely different announcements. So for you to process what is going on, you need to be familiar at least with the brand names that are coming. The second thing that I would like to talk about is M for models. Model you can think is the brain of the AI. If you have used ChatGPT, after a while, if you are on the free plan, it will say, I have now downgraded to 4.0 mini or something like that. It is how complicated that internal AI can think. So there are different models out there. I don't want to get into technical details. Depending on whether you are a paid subscriber, you might be using an upgraded model, you might get downgraded if you are a free user. That is the value that you get out of these models. The third part, I, stands for interface. All of us are familiar with this interface on the browser, right? But what if the browser itself is AI? Now, being a coder, you might have heard of this term called software development environment, integrated development environment, IDE and all those things. About last year, in ChatGPT, if I'm pasting code, in Claude I'm pasting code, I will get another code as a response which I can copy it back into my system. But now there are tools like Cursor, Bolt and Windsurf. These tools will edit the files in your system. So I as a developer can just ask for prompts and it will edit multiple files to ensure the changes are done. That is not just it. Now there is something called as Claude Code, or even with ChatGPT you have something called as Codex that will go through your entire computer. It will do a lot of things on its own and figure out how to solve. So if you see this interface point of view, right, not just the web browser and copy pasting code, this is a radical improvement in how I as a developer now do changes. I use Claude Code now 100% of the time to do several activities. I can even ask it to clean up my system, free up some hardware space and all those things. Now what if I let this run on autopilot? Okay, this thing will go fetch images from the internet. This tool, whatever, will go do some other specific operation. This is called agentic coding, which means you write things run on autopilot and it will do all these tasks for you. So to summarize, I feel if you think in terms of what is the brand, the jargons, what are all the announcements, what is the model it is using internally, and how the interfaces, can it read images, can it go through videos and give you an output, can it even give a video as an output like Sora, something that you might have heard. If you can structure it into these 3 parts, you can understand it better and you can be the one disrupting your industry in the future. So the time is up. Now I'll open the floor for any questions. Again, I might not have all the information. Does anyone have any questions on how to use these AI or how to track and how to make sense of these so far? If you are not asking questions, I can ask questions.
What is that Atlas can do more than compared to ChatGPT by itself?
Excellent. So I've just seen the Atlas demo. I have not used it myself because I work in a regulated sector. I am not very comfortable deploying things onto my machine. I'm not sure of the security side of things, which I'll address. The demo that they show is it can go to an e-commerce website, search for a product, show you a list of products, wait for you to confirm, then the interface will hand over control back to you as the user. Say for example, I am planning for a weekend trip. I just want, say for example, Chennai is very, like it's raining right now, I just want to go to some place that is dry and all. I want a different set of clothes. I can just say in Atlas on the right side, I am shopping for some essential clothes. This is the kind of destination that I am going to. Can you help me buy some purchases? My budget is 5,000. It by itself will usually it's a multi-stage process. The first stage will be a plan. So it might say, this is the plan. I'm going to get you some 2 t-shirts, 2 shorts and a pair of slippers. Is that fine for you? Then it will go and do that search in these e-commerce websites directly and go take you all the way to the checkout page itself. So whatever you can do as a end user using the browser, the claim is these browsers can do. One word of caution, there is something called the alignment problem, which is the AA agent or tool doing whatever the user wanted to do. This is where I feel the branding, I generally like Anthropic and Claude more than ChatGPT and more than Perplexity. Perplexity in their common browser, there is something like you might have heard of words like SQL injection and all those things, right? Now there is prompt injection. If you use Comet browser and go and use access a specific website where people have injected malicious code into some websites that can load arbitrary code in your system and start collecting your data. This is something that I feel Perplexity is pushing a lot for distribution and is not focusing on the security side of things. This is completely anecdotal. I have not used it myself, but I am hoping ChatGPT Atlas at least has a better security standpoint where these prompt injection, just because I visited a website, I didn't do anything. I just visited a website, it should not steal my bank credentials, right? So something along those lines is where one has to be very careful. ChatGPT in their demo itself, they keep reiterating again and again, all of this is experimental because they themselves are not able to see the potential downsides of what might happen.
So now most of the programmers, instead of writing codes on their own, just they give command. So going forward, the concept of teaching codes in colleges will become obsolete.
Excellent statement. I have a very specific viewpoint on this. I believe some version of AI has been in the edtech sector for a long time. At least last 5-10 years, I have some folks in my network who have been telling. I feel the biggest difficulty in adoption of edtech platforms as such is students do not want information. Information is out there, Wikipedia, white papers, YouTube to consume. Students want attention. They want attention from teachers, from their peers. They want a push in form of exams. So it is not how information is presented that I would say. Coming specifically to software development by itself, all my developers in my organization, without any instruction, so we are a little grey on it in my organization. We are neither against nor fully pro or going fully AI native. That is the word that people are using. Organizations are being pushed to go have employees use as many AI tools as possible. Since I work in a sort of semi-regulated sector, we are not having a clear stance yet on these things. All my colleagues have been using ChatGPT as an interface, but I have been experimenting with something called Claude Code. That word code kind sort of is a misnomer. It can do anything in your system. It can resize images. It can like go clean up your hard disk. It can do a lot of things outside coding activities. We just have to run it in a terminal. With Claude Code, as I told, the interface is completely different. I can now generate multiple files. I can get full applications. You might have heard of some tools called Lovable or V0 and all these things where you can give prompts and it will build a web app for you. Those are greenfield solutions where a solution emerges from scratch. But what if you want to take AI into an existing code base and help make it sense? Oh, here is the code that 50 developers have written. I want to write more code on top of this. Is a harder problem that Claude Code can do very well. So to finally sum up that, answer that question, I have been thinking anyone can use Claude Code. That's because I am blinded by my bias. I've been in the tech sector like for 15 years. I feel it is very easy to use, but probably I'm underestimating. You might want to use Claude Code yourself. You are most welcome to give it a shot. But the person who is most comfortable with Claude Code is a developer. You can think of it as a developer by itself. So who is today giving instructions to developers, dev managers, or product teams? So if you are either a product person or a dev manager, you will feel at home with Claude Code. But if you are neither of these, and if you start using Claude Code, you might not see the benefits because you might not know how to give specific instructions and confirm that output. The effort might not be the same for someone who has experience. So that is how I think it is shifting.
The question was whether the programming in colleges will become obsolete over a period of time, because only the companies who are in AA will be doing the programming, but the actual programmer's job.
There have been several shifts in the industry. Like one of the biggest things was open source. Like open source, so you can, it depends on the licensing and all. It's like libraries are accessible for developers. Regulated industries have always been like, no, you should not pick up code from the internet. So even though code has been available, like these AI tools, if you are an unregulated industry, you might just, I'm just building a like a simple tool for my Toastmasters club. You can you are very well free to use. But in regulated industries, healthcare, whatever, anything that is sensitive for the industry from a security point of view, national security, say for example chemical plants, all these sectors, developers will be strongly asked not to get into these tools. So definitely that usage will be there. But if developer becomes more and more reliant on these AI tools, they will stop thinking. So which means coding has to be still taught for these kinds of audience. So my general opinion is not all jobs are disappearing, but 10 something that could have been done by 10 software developers might be doable with just 3 software developers going forward. So the teaching part of it will emerge in a different manner is how I feel.
Yeah. Do you think Perplexity completely replaces Canva and Photoshop?
I feel from the interface point of view and brand point of view, things have been changing. So the reason why I went and spoke to my boss was the underlying model, the in-between thing, M for model, right? There are several models. You might have heard of GPT-3, GPT-4, GPT-5, in that mini and the pro and all those things. There is in Claude, it's called Sonnet and Opus. These are just some random jargons to indicate. These Claude 4.5, Sonnet 4.5 is a dramatic shift over Claude 4. That's why a lot of these things, the underlying model is the core R&D. I feel this is progressing very linearly. Say for example, Claude and ChatGPT are going to emerge as the big winners. They are going to be $100 billion companies or even $1 trillion companies because of their models. But I am not able to predict these branding and how interfaces are going to keep changing. People have been coming up with, like now the power is in the hands of non-developers. They can build whatever they want to. Product teams and other teams are thinking of new solutions, how they can do. So personally, I'm unable to even guess because I am someone 2 years ago I predicted such things will not happen. But here in today, I'm actually seeing those changes. So I really do not have an opinion on that at all. It's just everything is in flux, non-stop.
So the volume of data being processed, the data centers are being set up. So how it is going to affect our natural environmental issues?
Excellent. So one of the primary concerns, say for example, I believe one is being set up in Andhra Pradesh. Google is trying to set up something, a data center in Andhra Pradesh. The need for processing data is definitely exploding. One of the headlines that people commonly see is amount of water used. This is the common thing that I myself have done like only surface level R&D on that. I think it is a closed loop system. It is not like you consume all that water and the water evaporates to vapor. It is just that to cool your data centers, you have cold water. When you run it through your systems, it becomes hot water. Then you have to cool it down again. So the amount of water consumed, I think water does not disappear. It is the amount of water in circulation. To me, very simply, one metaphor that I would like to think of is, I was against AI. I have been a handwritten software developer for the entirety of my career. I found it initially very offensive. But once I started seeing the benefits, I kind of like feel I'm more productive. I'm 10x more productive. like that the market might demand a lot of things. It might not be personally okay with a lot of things. So if there is money to be made, say for example in setting up data centers, I think politics and everything else will accommodate it eventually. It is just inevitable. The metaphor that I would like to think of is in terms of an ecosystem, herbivores and carnivores. If you watch a nature documentary, say for example, if you are watching a deer documentary, when the lion hunts the deer, you will feel very sad because that is portrayed as the protagonist. But if you are watching a lion documentary, you will be happy that the lion got its meal and survived, right? So you might, some people might fundamentally disagree with carnivores even existing. Oh, this is unethical. Why should the deer have to die for the lion? That sort of thing. But nature does not care. I don't think there is inherent ethics in nature or this moral ground. It's just an outcome of how a herbivore is more energy rich than a plant by itself. So it is just that needs emerge and the ecosystem evolves accordingly. Similarly, saying that the coding has to be handwritten, all kind of coding has to be handwritten, I think that is disappearing. A majority of these non-regulated sectors will definitely start adopting, because now managers have to deliver, teams are expected to deliver on a much faster timeline on all those things. I don't see it slowing down in any manner going forward. So these ethics things, even though we might be against it individually, it is inevitable, it's going to happen anyways, my conclusion on it.
Will it stop our thinking?
Yes, that definitely is true. Just one anecdote, I'll end with this. There is Claude, using Claude code, it's $20 a month. But $20 a month, you have, that also will time out. Like every 1.5 hours you will use, it will say, whatever I expect, it will reset only every 5 hours. So you can upgrade to the 5x plan, which is $100 a month, 8,600 rupees or something. I went ahead and paid that for 1 month to see how it is. For the last 1 month, I have not been thinking at all. I feel already my skills are going down just because I'm using Claude code. So I can't walk into meetings confidently explaining my code. It is all, I have pushed thousands of lines of code, but I can't even articulate the architecture and all those things. It was more of a R&D experimental thing. We didn't do it in our main project. We just took up a new approach, greenfield project, just to see how productive we can be. But I myself, if you ask me today, I can't articulate much about that code. I have stopped thinking. That is definitely a danger. So one has to be very careful of not making it a habit. That is definitely. Thank you all for your wonderful questions. I enjoyed answering them all. If you have any other discussions, we can also discuss post the meeting. Thank you, and back to the Toastmaster.
I like to highlight one of the point by a speaker in a tech conference. So my job is not going to take away by AI. So it's going to take away by a person who use AI better than you. So I like to highlight that. And back to the songs part. It's another day in my school. So there is a fair girl, and I keep on looking at her. And one day she stared at me. Okay, oh, what is it? Is something magic happening? And in my mind, so a lot of songs and popping up. And again, on the road, it's a tea shop. In radio, in the tea shop, the song is playing. Ava enna paatha, avala paatha. So the moment I hearing songs and living through my life, it's all blended together, and it's making so much colorful moments that I can remember and I can still enjoy. Coming back to the meeting part, so followed by prepared speech session, we have a table topic session. To conduct this, we have a special person who is into software industry and loves to hear much of melodious songs. Let's welcome our table topic master, Toastmaster Meraki.
So good morning, everybody. I'm here to do the table topic session. And for those of you who don't know what table topic is, I will give a topic on spot, and the speaker can think for a few seconds maybe and speak on spot for 1 to 2 minutes. So any volunteers for the first
Somebody take it from a time.
Yeah.
thing which I learned the hard way is going forward and helping relatives even before they could ask. That is the biggest thing which I get into trap every now and then. In fact, recently also I got into a trap. 3 months back I was there in my native place and I saw my mother-in-law singing. The moment I saw her singing, immediately told why. Now I could see her singing week on week. Immediately I made arrangements. I brought her here to Chennai, and she's hospitalized. She was hospitalized for a week, and then she had to be brought back to my house. And for the past 3 months, she's there in my house, and I'm taking care of of course, my wife is there, and but otherwise all the arrangements which are everything is going topsy-turvy in the house. She had to be given a room, and the nursing arrangement is done. Doctors keep on visiting every now and then. So this is what has been going on. Because of this, many of the other things which I normally do, I'm not able to commit, because I know that on a given day, I cannot be 100% out of the house. I'll always be on the call. So this is where is a trouble with me. This is not the first time I've got into this kind of a trouble. Every time throughout my life, I go forward even before somebody could even open their mouth. The moment I see somebody is there in difficulty, immediately I go forward, give my opinions, and I go forward and help. Because of that, I got into plenty of troubles. But still, these are troubles which I think, which gives me an inner satisfaction, for soul satisfaction. So it's remaining part of my life. Definitely I will get into these troubles so that ultimately I feel happy. Thank you very much.
So it was very good to know the other people and everything. So next, any other volunteer? So every generation has its music. What do you think the songs for the future will sound like?
Good morning to all Toastmasters and guests. This mainly reminisced 2 days ago. I went into the Ola Auto. There, the Ola driver used to listen the old songs. Vanakkam Palamurai Sonne Sabai Ninde. So that song mainly just observed me on the olden days. So he just loves to hear the old songs, that is 80s, 70s and all. For that he used to set the separate package in that mobile. So he used to listen and play it accordingly whenever he feels stressed. So that song mainly I loved it by hearing, but now those many songs came like Monica, then Jingija Jingija, those songs and all. Dance, for dance purpose is okay, but for hearing it is not related with. So each generation nowadays, most of the songs are dance based. So whenever they play, they used to dance and use it accordingly. So more or less everything are melodious. Each generation based how we are utilizing is a matter. That's the way I can. If they bring back the whole melodious song, then it will be a awesome moment for everyone. Back to you.
Very true. Even I like melodious songs, and I feel it's good to hear. So next up. So do you think songs influence our emotions or reflect them?
Thank you. Songs play a very vital role in most of the people's life. Right? So, even yesterday or day before yesterday, if I remember, I was traveling from home to office. It's regularly 40 minutes journey. whenever I used to hear Ilayaraja songs, right, that gives a different tempo. And this A.R. Rahman, who brings up a new set of music to the world, right? That gives a different feel and vibration to the art. And as she said, right, so it always connects to your emotions as well. Many times, based on your mental situation, whatever you have, right, and the melodious songs will put you in a very good spot and keep your tempo and momentum going for that particular day. And I love listening songs at every point of time, and I also wish you everyone to do this. Thank you so much.
So, anybody else? So if you could swap lives with somebody for a week, who would it be?
So if I could swap my life with somebody for a week, it would be somebody who has a very strong presence and communicates really well, because I think I don't have those skills just now, and I would very, very much love to acquire them. A person who communicates well is just very confident, not just in himself, but he also, or he or she also shows that in the environment and inspires others as well. So I would very much love to just swap places with a person like that.
Do we have time for one more or?
Thanks for everybody. Please tell the name here.
No, I am Abhilash Prabhakaran.
Abhilash.
So what makes a song unforgettable? The melody, the lyrics, or some memory related to it?
Good morning. Good morning. Abhilash Prabhakaran. So, for me, I used to travel college days to car only. So, morning I used to listen Ayyappa songs or Murugan songs for 7 to 8 p.m. After returning from college, I used to hear my favorite songs with my lyrics, which keep me active when driving alone from Mylapur to Pallikani is about 25 kilometers. So my favorite songs and my favorite lyrics will keep me energetic and have a good healthy presence.
Thanks. Would you rather be known for your humor or your wisdom?
It's the other person's perspective. How I see myself. So it's based on the situation I've been undergo and the people around me. So some people would feel me I'm more humor and crazy, and I'm taking and summing up all the learnings with the people and the situation undergo what I've been into. I feel wisdom in moments and I feel down sometimes. It's all part of the life, and sometimes we like to hear melodious and sometimes we like to hear good-parted things. It's then and there both need to be there. It's ups and downs. Thank you.
Yes. any song, which song will it be?
So I was looking at the trend of table topics. So it was like one on the something about life, and then something was next was the song. I was actually mindful that I should not come for a song because I was never a songs person. So until maybe soon after I got married, my wife is completely, she was like melodious all the way. She likes to sing songs. She can sing lot of songs from start to end. I'm completely opposite. I was always watching only KTV at home or Aditya. So the next, either KTV or Aditya used to be there. But my wife always wanted Sun Music. That's how our house used to be. But after 10 years, maybe after 3 years, so soon after my first daughter, it always became YouTube streaming. So we neither of us got any chance of any. Neither of us got any remote. After now at 12-13 years, after my second kid, he was so attached to YouTube. So now for the last 1 year, we don't even have TV. We kept it inside. So we decided not to watch TV at all. So now I cannot watch even KTV or anything. My wife also don't have a chance, and my daughter also doesn't have a chance. That's how I'm related to songs as such. So I give back to DM Modi for DD Master for some other next life topic for the next person.
So yeah, with this I'll conclude the table topic session and hand it over to the DM Modi.
So it's a family gathering. Consider it's a family gathering. So every relative, siblings, and gather together. And after the dinner, we have quite some time. What we think of, what we will do. The first idea would say, Antakshari. We will play song. We will sing song. Okay. The song here goes like la 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 something. No, that is music. Da. I sing. I will continue like that. It goes. So. Like this, and parallelly the other side in taking, as Arvind said, so there is a dedicated channel, Sun Music, SS Music, and they will play songs when we ask for it. So, and we can dedicate it to someone. So there will be a lovely song, and I dedicate it to Vinu. So a hearty, wow, that's so amazing. Indirectly saying something to a person, lovable person, and followed by the meeting part, and the next session is the evaluation session. For that, I would like to welcome Detail Sundaram.
Thank you, Toastmaster Didi. Now we are entering to the last segment of our today's meeting. So before we proceed with the evaluation, Timer, can you please read out the qualified prepared speakers and table topic speakers? Please raise your hand when your name is.
Both the speakers are qualified. Narsimharaju and Anirudh both are qualified. For table topics, first Gopinath, Bhagat Gopinath, Suresh qualified. Srividya and Abhilash are not qualified. Srividya, Abhilash, Velavel not qualified. Arvind is qualified. Vinnavan, sorry. Vinnavan is not. So Gopinath, Bhagat Gopinath, please raise your hand. Suresh, please raise your hand. Arvind, please.
Thank you. Please vote for the best speaker and the best table topic speaker. Now let's move on with the evaluation session. First of all, before inviting the first evaluator, let me thank our area director, Toastmaster Bhagat, who stepped in to volunteer to do the speech evaluation when our designated speech evaluator is absent today. Please put your hands to welcome Toastmaster Bhagat. Give you the speech of Toastmaster Nasim.
Thank you so much, distinguished Toastmaster Sundaraman. Good morning to all Toastmasters, and special good morning to the speaker, Toastmaster Narasimharaju. So, Toastmaster Narasimharaju, the speech was very nice and inspiring. Let me evaluate your speech by using the acronym BODY. B stands for boldness. The speaker made a bold speech about the body language as well as the articulation. That is what he learned from the BNI communication and what he learned from the Toastmasters. That made the perfect way and a bridge as well. That was very nice. Then O stands for orator. The speaker made a good oratorical skills both in communication as well as in body language. He used the body language wherever required. That is by waving the hands and played away in each and every segment. That was very nice. D stands for development. The speaker made the perfect development in body language after he learned that from Toastmasters, especially from each person that he addressed was very inspiring. Then Y stands for Yacht. The Yacht, why I am saying is that the communication and body language, whatever you learn, you went like a yacht ship. That made a faster way and goes on further. That was very nice. So throughout the speech, I saw that you didn't I didn't see the nervousness. You made a perfect conclusion as well. If at all, I would like to say improvement on how you cope up with the next level. It will be good to show one action in the scene that march past. Because when you said about march past, it will be good to show us a march past, left, right, left. That because in the body language you can use ample body actions. So if you use the march past, people will come to know and will like more about it. Overall, you made a good eye contact, you made a good speech with body language in each and every segments. If you act upon in the certain scenes, I am sure this will reach to the next level. Back to you.
Now to review the speech of Toastmaster Anirudh, we have distinguished Toastmaster Satish. So for your information, a couple of weeks back we had our division contest and Satish emerged as the first runner-up in the division contest. Please put your hands to welcome.
Thank you so much, Anirudh, for delivering this amazing and lively, engaging Q&A session. Evaluating a Q&A session speech is not only about the content, it is more about the clarity, the composure, and the connect you have this with the audience. So let me start by welcoming this members of Meraki, also the guest speaker or our esteemed speaker. Let me start with the things which I love the most in this entire speech of 5 to 7 minutes, also the Q&A session. Number one, the flame of passion. What a brilliant way to connect a speech like this, where he is already from a tech, also the technology background, and he had the passion for the speech and he delivered it fabulently. Pick about the examples, what you have taken in the speeches, or pick about the latest trends happening it. The first one is the flame of passion. The second one is about the grace of gestures. The usage of the stage or the gestures. He ran through the entire speech, spacing the stages also from the 1, 2, 3 examples of the questions what he had, the BMI, the body mass index, or the actions he wavered when it comes to the connecting with the audience, the emotions connected with the words with the audience, number 2. Number 3, the ring of relevance. The content what he presented was more relevant to the topic what we chosen. Also it was answers what he gave for the questions were relevant to the questions and it connected with the audience. Though we had this 20 minutes of Q&A session including a speech, I have a 3 simple recommendation for him to move forward. Number 1 is bridge the connection. It means about connect before answer. He got around close to 5-6 questions, I understand from the Q&A session. The curiosity for him to answer came first before even appreciating or recognizing the speaker. When the Q&A session is happening, the importance of recognizing the speaker's question and paraphrase them once again is mainly to show the empathy to the audience, not just I'm ready to answer. Maybe he would have started with saying, paraphrase the question and told how this can be answered, number 1. Number 2 is end with the impact. I call it as a wrap up the answer. He had a very lengthy conversation of the answers for every single question. also, if you could have ended with a simple wrap up of this is what the final conclusion is. Say for a question of Sundararaman on asking how this is going to replace or not. The end can be wrapped up with a simple statement that would have made us to understand more. It's the second one. The third one is more of, for me I felt, it's more of a jargons when he was initially speaking 5 to 7 minutes in terms of the AI. Though AI is the latest technology, I found a lot of jargon words used in every span of statements. He could have replaced it with a very simplified statement where I can say common man can understand. Overall, there is a great passion from his speech. The second one is the grace of gestures, and the third one is the ring of relevance. If we can improve upon this connecting before the answer starts coming in, also use of less jargons, and also when he go back to ending with impact, I'm sure this can go places. Over to the judge.
Timer, please spell out whether the speakers are qualified, the evaluators are.
Both the evaluators are
Both the evaluators are
They should
qualified.
be.
Please vote for the best evaluator amongst Bhagat and Satish Kumar. So now let me call upon the timer if he is ready.
Yes, sir.
To give his report, timer report.
Coming. Thank you very much, and good morning once again. To start with, the sergeant arms for the initial opening took 1 minute 50 seconds, 7 seconds, and the presiding officer for the introductory address took 6 minutes 28 seconds. Probably since the arrival of the TMOD was a little delayed, it took a little more timing in explaining all those things. And TMOD for the initial introduction took 2 minutes 36 seconds. And while introducing the management book reviewer took 2 minutes 5 seconds. While introducing the topics, prepared speeches topics, took 1 minute 54 seconds. And while introducing the table topic master took 1 minute 15 seconds. Again, while talking about the general evaluator, took again 1 minute 10 seconds. That's about TMOD's entire structure. The management book review, which was done by Arvind, took 6 minutes 11 seconds. For prepared speeches, the first speaker, Narasimha Raju, took 6 minutes 10 seconds. For Anirudh, it was 5 minutes, 5 to 7 minutes for the first speech, and 13 minutes for the question answer session. Anirudh took 7 minutes 30 seconds exactly on the dot. For question answer session took 12 minutes 31 seconds, very much within the time. Coming to the table topics, the first speaker, Gopinath, took 1 minute 45 seconds. Bhagat Gopinath took 1 minute 30 seconds. Suresh took 1 minute 10 seconds. Srividya took 53 seconds, slightly short. Abhilash took 50 seconds. Vinnavan took 57 seconds. Arvind took 1 minute 33 seconds. For evaluation, Bhagat Gopinath took 33.3, absolutely on the dot, and Satish took 3 minutes 7 seconds. This is my report. Over to the general value.
Thank you, Dr. for a detailed timer's report. Now let me call upon Toastmaster Suresh for his account.
So I'm going to read out the usage of the filler words. Toastmaster Gopinath used so twice. Toastmaster Narasimha Raju used and repeated many times. Toastmaster Arvind Raja used so 4 times and like twice. Toastmaster Vinnavan used twice, twice, and so twice. Toastmaster Bhagat used thrice, once, so 3 times, and like 1 time. Toastmaster Anirudh used thrice, as it's a lengthy conversation, right? So 8 or 9 times, right? And like thrice. Finally, guest Srividya used twice. She's not a guest. My apologies. Thank you.
Thank you. Suresh, take care. So now the final tag role player, Grammarian, I invite Dr. Chalakanan.
Thank you, distinguished Toastmaster. Thank you, team. Today it was a really wonderful day. You guys had word of the day usage was excellent. There were 6 times melodious was used. Narasimha Raj used once, our Bhagat AD used once, Madhu used once, Suresh used once, and Vinavan used once, and Arvind used once. So total 6 usage, and a couple of times, few other times also it's being used effectively. And coming to the good usage concern, it was really I would like to see a lot of interactions, a lot of good usage happening across the speeches, across the evaluations. There were a couple of I have noted down from the book review, a couple of things. The 3 themes he was talking about, anyone can remember? Anyway, our distinguished Mr. Raman will also, for a memory time, anyone if you can remember the 3 themes from the book review, management book review, he has given. At least one. Okay.
Western good companies that was accumulated investment.
Okay. Specifically, he was talking about avoid risks in the first place and a high quality business. And the other thing, very important thing, don't be lazy, be
Very lazy.
Very lazy, exactly. So definitely everyone like this. And other usage of mix of science and investments. Don't be lazy, be very lazy. Principle of compounding, meticulously, calm posture, adequate opportunity, simple, okay, BMI. Anirudh talked about BMI. Can anyone remember the BMI? Model. Exactly. Yeah. And so cloud code. I kept asking multiple times. There was agentic coding, flame of passion, bridge the connections. Distinguished Satish brilliantly used those kind of jargons, and he also said jargons can be used differently. So the bad usage concern, it's not exactly bad usage. It can be rephrased to some extent. Instead of very eager, we can say enthusiastic. It can be a very simple word. And a nervous energy, it can be kind of a negative energy can be used. That's what I thought. And some of the tense concern, body, God in sync, body has already started speaking. It can be rephrased better in the present tense. It may be a much reach concern. And there was a special person she was calling, but it can be, special is differently used for different things. So instead of that, appropriately we can call it the role of the player. And would like to invite, instead of that, yeah, it is like I invite a distinguished Toastmaster to come and participate. Instead of would like to invite, it can be, and instead of very nice, it can be simply said to the excellent. So these are things I have noted for the improvement concern. Overall, it was a fantastic usage. Thank you everyone for the nice one.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chalakana. So now, as a general evaluator, it is my duty to give the report on what really went well and what could have been done better. So in spite of incessant rain, we started meeting on time, exactly at 7 o'clock. That was a great thing. And the presiding officer started with an inspiration story and also mentioned about Toastmaster International as usual. And the presiding officer acknowledged the presence of dignitaries. And today all introductions were properly done by both the presiding officer, PM Modi, and then the general evaluator. All the role players were introduced appropriately. And so as one of the evaluators dropped out, or visiting area director volunteered to be one of the speech evaluators, I think he deserves special honor. And again, one of the prepared speakers again dropped out last evening. And again, Toastmaster arranged to volunteer to give a speech. I think he also deserves a honor. So there is no point in having one prepared speeches. At least we need to have to at least to meet the needs of the ballot. We need to have 2 speakers. That was done today. And the table topic master explained what table topic session is all about. Yes. And the table topic master gave opportunity for all the speakers, including the guest, And today management book review was very well done by Toastmaster Arvind. Right. And Toastmaster of the day came out with a different theme and came out with a lot of songs to connect with the audience. Okay, now I'm going to play the role of Mama Giraffe. So I think I have mentioned about this story long time back. How many of you can recollect Mama Giraffe? Right. So giraffe, when it's born, so giraffe is one of the tallest animal. The newborn is born, the new baby will fall from a height and it will, with all kind of tiredness, it will go and fell down on corner, right?
10 feet. 10 feet.
Yeah, 10 feet. And it will be totally be energyless. And the very first act of the mother giraffe is to go and lick it so that it gets the compassion and the empathy kind of thing. So what is the second act? That will
Kick.
Will give a huge kick, and the baby giraffe will be tossed in the air, and again it will fall. And once again the mother giraffe will give another kick. So, but it is all done with intention, right? Good intention, so that the baby giraffe will stand up. So, unlike a human being, most of the animals are the very first few minutes now, the animals can stand up on their feet and then start running and or even chase the prey. So, you can take that as an analogy while I am giving report as general evaluator for recommendations. Actually, today one speaker and one evaluator dropped in the last minute. I think as an advanced club we should avoid that. In fact, and we can also come out with the backup speakers and backup evaluators so that last minute confusion can be minimized. So basically somehow as an advanced club somehow we manage, but there are people who back out every time, right? So it is not good, telling good about them. No, we try to form an opinion about them. So they have to retrospect whether it is okay to do this. They can always come out with skills saying that tire puncture or raining or something like that. But if you are repeatedly doing, your reputation will be at stake. Then you have to think about it. The Toastmaster of the day, he chose a theme. Actually, I have comments. So basically, these are all my personal comments because the Toastmaster International has not talked anything about theme of the day. So in fact, in the Western world, no Toastmaster meeting starts with a theme. So only this part of the world now we try to take a theme and then primary purpose is to make this engaging. So though you engage, so in between sessions you mention about the songs. My personal feeling was the theme should be somewhere connecting with either communication skill or leadership skill or life skills. So one of these three aspects, should be covering. So probably you could have mentioned about song and say that how it is talking about communication skills or life skills, or so many motivation songs are there. So of course you have to go back to the olden songs. Today I don't think you have enough choices to from the today's songs. So that you could have done, and you always the TMOD also should explain the rationale why he has chosen a theme. So for example, sometimes you say this is the contest time, that is the reason I have chosen this theme. So that you could have done. So these are all my personal opinion. TMI is not suggesting anything about it. And the table topic master again, I wish you could have brought a lot of thought-provoking quotes, so especially for members. So there is a difference between a table topic session in club and as well as a contest. What is the difference?
Contest goes by quotes.
Yes, contest always it will be a thought-provoking quote. So we don't give any scenario or what do you think about this? No such. Always it is a metaphorical thought-provoking quote, and it is better to train our members during our meeting. So if you expose our members for such kind of thing, they are better prepared for the contest. And especially since we are a bi-weekly club, so we have limited opportunity for members to come and speak on table topic sessions. So that is the reason. For guests, always you can give some easy topic like your favorite book or favorite movie. But for all members, prefer to give topics. And also, all topics need not align with the theme. So if all the topics are aligning with the theme, all the speeches will also be looking same. Right? So the variety will be missing. And the grammarian word of the day, in fact, in this checklist to say, was the word of the day challenging, appropriate, and fitting for the theme of the meeting? It was fitting for the theme of the meeting, but was it challenging? Not so, because melody, all known words. Only thing is you have to appropriate use it. Probably if you would have brought a new word so that we all learn a new word so that we can apply it in our personal and professional life, that would have been done a value addition.
So one more suggestion there, sir. We, as advanced club, we can try next time onwards. Probably instead of announcing the word of the day in advance, we can come here and tell this is the word of the day, so that on the spot people can try to use.
So basically, we have to learn a new word.
Yeah.
So that is the goal. So otherwise, the meeting, in spite of all rains and other challenges, people backing out, the meeting went on really. I guess I have covered all. I think all the speech evaluators, they have done the job properly. Tag role players done their job properly. So I think everything was in perfect sync. So with that, let me hand over the podium back to the Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Vinod.
Thank you. It's a great takeaway from the general evaluator. And so I not grown with songs. I grown through songs. My dad is a shopkeeper, and the shop is the cassette recording shop. So that's the source of the life for us. So we used to keep on recording songs, and we always play the songs in the shop. Whenever I cross the shop after my school or before the school, and I always hear the songs. It based on the day. So if it is a traditional some function day, so the songs relate to that, and if it is a Ayappa season, so the songs will be related to that. So I go through that, and as in the tech part, and after the tape cassette, so the CD came, and this guy still gave a purpose for this package, and iPod came, and it goes like that. Coming back to the meeting part, and master level. So coming back to the meeting part, and handing the stage over back to the meeting.
So it is now the listening time, the quiz part. So I have a couple of questions. If you know the answer, please raise your hand. Don't spell out the answer, and I'll pick one of you. And if you are getting the goodies, then next time give opportunity for others. While you are ready. Okay. Yeah. So today, Toastmaster Arvind reviewed a book. Who is the author of the book? If you know the answer, please raise your hand. Full name, I want to know the full name.
Is it bullet?
Huh? Bullet.
No, I heard it wrong.
Okay. Huh? No, that is the title. The Darwin name is great. Yes.
Charles Dickens.
Oh, no.
Charles Babbage.
Anyone else?
It's some Prabhakar or something.
Arvind can tell.
Huh?
No. I can see the book nearby, so
Okay. Sir, I will give the first name. If anyone gives the second name, probably you will get a goodie. First name is Polak. The second name also starts with P.
Prasad.
Huh?
Prasad.
Okay. I think since no one has answered. So you have to take this as a takeaway, no? When you are giving a book review, you have to tell the author's name in a very clear manner so that people can make a note of it. Okay. So today, first speaker was Mr. Narasimha Raju. He mentioned about getting elected in the body, and then he was giving his speech. I am not even
Question valid.
So he has not spelled out this. This is slightly out of his speech. What is the expansion for BNI?
Business networking.
1 minute.
I only read.
Yeah.
Business Networking International.
Huh?
Business Networking International.
This right?
Business Network International.
Okay. So almost 1940. Okay.
ING is
So this this question is already asked by the grammarian, but still I would like to, okay, I think I'll skip. So I thought of asking what is the extension for PMI, because already grammarian has mentioned. Actually, Anirudh was mentioning that his boss was recommending a new technology for his company, and he was saying that it was a solution without any, what is that?
Solution in search of a
Solution in search of a customer, right? So what technology he was referring? Boss. You are already taken.
AI application.
No. Blockchain. Blockchain is very nice. We have two more. So during table topic session, Toastmaster Bhagat mentioned about auto driver playing a particular song. So can you anyone tell what was the song? Which song?
I can tell, but
You already taken it up. Anyone? No. Sir, you can tell the answer. I will give you the topic, and then you can distribute to anyone you want.
Vanakkam Palamari something.
Vanakkam Palamari Sonne. I guess what is the movie?
Movie.
Melnattu Marumagal. So that was the very popular song. It was composed by Kunnapudi Vaidyanathan. So it was not by M.S. Viswanathan or Ilayaraja. So the legendary Carnatic musician Kunnapudi Vaidyanathan, yes, and the actor was a foreigner. Toastmaster Bhagat again in his speech evaluation, he used an acronym BODY for the speech of Toastmaster Narasimha Raju. Y stand for what?
Yacht.
Yacht.
Huge answer.
We have only one guest today, so Toastmaster Abhilash, can you introduce yourself? How come you come to know about Meraki? You can come.
I'm Abhilash Prabhakaran, and I am a structural engineer. Through my father, 10 years back, my father used to come to Toastmaster. Conduct I guess Aria. He preferred because I'm going to own a company. I want to reach international standard. So you go to Toastmasters, then you have a better English knowledge.
So did he enjoy today's proceeding?
Yeah, the
feedback
first day,
about today's.
yeah, first day is okay. It's nice.
Thank you so much, Abhilash, for coming. Keep coming.
Very good recommendation by father.
So his father was from insurance industry.
Yeah, he's from
Gopi, you may recollect.
What is
From
his name?
Mylapur. Prabhakaran.
Prabhakaran.
Yeah. Prabhakaran was an active member in Middle Toastmaster Club. Hope Satish can also recollect it. Yeah. Okay. So now it's time to recognize the best role players. The best tag role player goes to Toastmaster Gopinath. Thank you. Best evaluator goes to distinguished Toastmaster Satish. Best table topic speaker again goes to Toastmaster Gopinath. What was your topic? Spoke about your mother-in-law.
That is, yeah.
You have to dedicate this to your mother-in-law.
Okay, I'll give it to her today.
Best speaker goes to, prepared speaker goes to Anirudh. And you all chose me as the best role player. Thank you so much.
Bhagat can give, yeah. Correct.
I think
think you have to interchange places.
Yeah.
And I have to give a different facial expression. So, with that we come to the end of meeting. Do we have any announcements?
Okay.
Bhagat, would you like to give a feedback? So today has made his official AD visit. So any observations if you want to share with our members, please go ahead.
So good morning to all.
Good morning. Good morning.
This is the third time for me to visit this club, being at early morning. Today, hope you all know that it's a rainy time, so we made it. I made it somehow challenge to come to Meraki Club because I'm coming from Villivakam. So I booked the Ola auto and I came here to visit the club once again and make a area director visit. So I really seen the enthusiasm and the eagerness from every members. So please do the same because I already know that it's an advanced club. So keep on follow it. And the next time I would like to see the huge participation from everyone in the area contest. Because in this time I see I got only less nomination and moreover contest chair played by Toastmaster Vinavan. So next time I would like to see the participation, role participation from everyone to play it. So that's what I would like to say. Hope everyone register for the semi-annual conference. So whoever is yet to register, please do the same and utilize the opportunity. So on. Other than that, there's nothing from my end. Keep on following the same. Do as much you can to innovate and utilize opportunity whenever arise. Over to you.
Thank you so much for saying that. Actually, Toastmaster Bhagat mentioned that he would like to leave by 8:30 since he has other commitment, but thank you for staying back. So now with that, within 2 weeks we will once again we will have a in-person meeting. Please sign up for speakers slots as well as the roles and to start preparing if you are not prepared with your script. So let me adjourn meeting number 232. Please join us for a group meeting.